day to each and every one of you. Today, I want to speak on something that, though difficult to embrace, holds a profound truth. God wanted them to hurt you. Yes, you heard me correctly. There are moments in life when we experience pain at the hands of others. People who betray, abandon, or criticize us can leave scars that seem impossible to heal. But let me ask you, what if I told you that the very pain you've endured has been a part of a divine blueprint? It's a hard pill to swallow, I know, but bear with me. He understood. The first truth you need to understand is that there is purpose in your pain. Everything that happens in your life, good and bad, serves a higher purpose. You see, God does not work in the realm of accidents. Everything has a reason. That betrayal, that rejection, that hurt, it didn't catch God off guard. It was allowed to happen for a reason, to push you toward your purpose. Pain, though unpleasant, is a refining process. It strips away the excess, the unnecessary, and focuses you on what truly matters. Let's talk about growth through adversity. Think about the muscles in your body. When they're stressed, they tear and rebuild, becoming stronger than before. Similarly, your soul grows when it's tested. You may have felt like you were being broken, but in reality, you were being prepared for something greater than you ever imagined. Each wound you endured is the soil in which your character is being cultivated. It's not to harm you, but to make you resilient, to make you stronger, to make you whole. Now, let us remember the divine sovereignty of God. The creator of the universe has ultimate authority over everything that happens in your life. If you believe in a God who's omnipotent, you must trust that he allowed that hurt. But why? Because God knows what's ahead for you, and sometimes he allows these moments of pain to build you, to stretch you, to position you for a blessing you haven't even conceived of yet. Resilience. It is what the pain was meant to develop. When you've endured the worst, when you've faced the deepest hurt, you develop a resilience that cannot be shattered. It's the kind of strength that when tested again, won't break. Each moment of difficulty is shaping you into someone who can handle the greatness that awaits you. The very thing that once brought you to your knees will be the thing that elevates you to new heights. But here's the thing, while we may not always see it, there are blessings hidden in the struggle. Sometimes God allows us to go through hurtful experiences to guide us to a place of elevation that we would never have reached otherwise. We are often too comfortable in our circumstances, and sometimes the discomfort of being hurt pushes us to move forward. Your pain is paving the way for you to step into the destiny God has designed for you. Lastly, let me share with you the powerful truth of forgiveness. When you hold on to the pain and resentment, you're only imprisoning yourself. God doesn't want you bound by the wounds others have inflicted. He wants you free. Forgiveness is the key that unlocks that freedom. The freedom to step into a new season, a season where the past no longer dictates your future. The act of releasing your hurt is an act of trust in God's justice and a demonstration of his love within you. So I say to you today, don't look back on the hurt with bitterness. Don't allow the scars to define you. Recognize that God wanted them to hurt you because there is divine purpose in that pain. He is using it to grow you, strengthen you, and prepare you for something greater. Trust in his plan and know that in the end you will emerge stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your divine destiny. We often find ourselves questioning the purpose of the pain we experience in life. Why must we endure such hurt, betrayal, or loss? It's easy to get caught in the emotional turmoil and think that pain serves no purpose other than to harm us. But what if I told you that pain is not a random or cruel act, but a necessary part of your growth and divine purpose? What if I told you, in the moment of suffering, it's hard to see beyond the immediate hurt. We often want to escape or avoid it, believing that it's a sign of failure or that life has dealt us an unfair hand. However, the reality is that pain has a deeper purpose, one that transcends our understanding at the time. Pain is not meant to destroy us. It is meant to refine us, to shape us into the individuals we are destined to become. Think of pain as the process of pruning a tree. When a tree is pruned, the branches are cut back, and though it may appear damaged for a time, the process leads to stronger, more fruitful growth. Similarly, the pain we endure can remove the unnecessary parts of our character, exposing the core of who we are. It challenges us, reshapes our thinking, and forces us to confront areas of weakness that we may have ignored or denied. In doing so, pain provides an opportunity for spiritual and emotional growth that would not come about through ease and comfort. The pain we experience also has the power to deepen our understanding of others. When we hurt, we become more empathetic, more compassionate. We begin to see the world through a different lens, understanding that others too have their struggles. This empathy is crucial for fulfilling the purpose we have on this earth, to love and serve one another. Without the experiences of pain, we might never develop the deep sense of connection and understanding that fuels true compassion. There is another aspect of pain that many fail to see. It is a catalyst for transformation. Pain forces us to let go of the past and step into a new chapter. It pushes us to grow beyond our comfort zones and confront the areas of our lives that need healing. Without pain, we may never have the motivation to change. It's in those painful moments when we are forced to rely on God's strength, trust in His plan, and make decisions that will lead us toward a brighter future. Pain is a necessary part of that transformation, for it propels us toward becoming the best versions of ourselves. In the grand design of life, God has not left us to suffer without purpose. He allows pain to refine us, to make us more like Him, and to prepare us for the greatness that awaits. Though we may not see it in the moment, every painful experience serves a purpose: to teach us, grow us, and propel us forward on the path that leads to our destiny. So when you face pain, remember there is purpose in it. It is a part of the process that is leading you to the place you are meant to be. Adversity is one of the most challenging experiences we can face in life, but it also holds one of the greatest opportunities for growth. When things are going well, when life is smooth and easy, it's easy to feel content and comfortable. However, it's often in the times of struggle, difficulty, and adversity that our true potential is brought to the surface. Growth through adversity does not happen by chance. It happens by choice. When faced with hardship, we are given a choice. We can either allow the situation to defeat us, or we can allow it to refine us. The pain and challenges that adversity brings are not meant to break us, but to build us. It is through adversity that our resilience is forged. The very things that seem like obstacles in the moment are actually the stepping stones that will help us ascend to greater heights. Adversity stretches us beyond our limits, pushing us to tap into strengths and abilities that we may not have even known we had. It forces us to confront our weaknesses, our fears, and the things that hold us back. We learn about ourselves in ways we wouldn't if life were always easy. There is no growth in comfort. Just like a muscle that grows stronger through resistance and effort, our character, our faith, and our perseverance grow stronger when we are forced to face difficult situations head on. Growth through adversity involves letting go of old ways of thinking or old habits that no longer serve us. It can be uncomfortable to let go of what is familiar, but this is where true transformation begins. Adversity challenges us to rethink our approach to life, to make necessary adjustments, and to revolve into the person we were always meant to be. Letting go. And when we look at adversity in this light, we begin to understand that our challenges are not signs of defeat, but opportunities for transformation. The discomfort and struggle are temporary, but the growth and the strength that come from overcoming adversity last a lifetime. It's in those moments of struggle that our most profound lessons are learned. Additionally, adversity builds empathy and compassion. We gain clarity on our values and what is worth fighting for in life. So, while adversity may feel like something we want to avoid, we must learn to embrace it. It is a tool for growth, a catalyst for change, and a necessary part of the journey. Without it, we would remain stagnant, never moving beyond the limits of what we already know. Through adversity, we expand our capacity, deepen our character, and become more aligned with the purpose we are destined to fulfill. And when we emerge from the other side of struggle, we do so as stronger, wiser, and more resilient versions of ourselves. Divine sovereignty is the understanding that God is the ultimate authority over everything that happens in the universe. His rule is unchallenged, His will is supreme, and His plans are perfect. When we grasp the concept of divine sovereignty, we begin to understand that nothing occurs by accident or random chance. Every moment of our lives is under His sovereign care. Even the moments we don't understand or the ones that feel out of our control. Times life may seem chaotic, and we may feel as though things are spiraling out of our hands. We may question why things happen the way they do, why we face certain challenges or injustices, and why the world often seems to be full of pain and suffering. But divine sovereignty teaches us that even in those moments, God is still in control. His wisdom far exceeds our understanding, and He has a divine purpose for everything that occurs. Even when we face hardship, even when we suffer, He is not absent, He is present, guiding us, shaping us, and using every circumstance for His greater purpose. How is the Lord responding to Christ's circumstances? How is the Lord responding to Christ's circumstances? Now, when we come to terms with divine sovereignty, we begin to relinquish our desire for control. We realize that while we may not understand the why behind everything that happens, we can trust in the who. We trust in God's character, knowing that He is good, that He loves us, and that He is working everything for our good, even if the path we walk is difficult. This trust is what anchors us in the storms of life. It's the confidence that no matter what we face, God is with us, and He has a plan. It's easy to praise God when life is smooth. But divine sovereignty also teaches us to praise Him in the midst of our trials. We are reminded that nothing is beyond His reach. that he can use even our pain and struggles to fulfill his greater plan. In the hardest moments of our lives, when we can see no way out or no purpose in our suffering, divine sovereignty assures us that God is still working, orchestrating every detail according to his perfect will. We are not abandoned or forgotten. We are being shaped, prepared, and led to something greater than we can imagine. Embracing divine sovereignty is also a call to surrender, to trust in God's timing, to trust in his methods, and to trust in his judgment. In a world that often seeks to control and manipulate circumstances, divine sovereignty reminds us that we are not in charge. We are not called to figure everything out or to force things to happen according to our will. Instead, we are called to submit to God's will, to follow his lead, and to trust that he knows what is best for us. This kind of trust frees us from anxiety and fear. It frees us to live fully in the present, knowing that the future is in God's hands. Understanding divine sovereignty also gives us peace. It allows us to let go of our need to control, to understand, or to manipulate situations. When we rest in the knowledge that God is sovereign, we no longer feel the pressure to have all the answers. We can move forward in faith, trusting that God's plan will unfold in his perfect timing, and that even when things look bleak, his purpose is being worked out. God's sovereignty means that nothing in life happens outside of his will. Every step we take is guided by his hand, and everything we face is under his control. There is comfort in knowing that our lives are not dictated by chance, fate, or the whims of others, but by a loving, sovereign creator who is working all things together for our good. When we understand that God is sovereign, we can approach life with a greater sense of security and peace. Even when we don't understand the circumstances or the challenges we face, we trust that God does. And that trust gives us the strength to endure, the grace to forgive, and the courage to move forward. Divine sovereignty isn't just a theological concept. It is a source of strength and comfort in the journey of life, assuring us that God is in control, guiding us and leading us to the fulfillment of our divine purpose. Building resilience is a crucial part of navigating the challenges life inevitably throws our way. Resilience is not something that comes easily or naturally to many of us, especially when faced with adversity. It's a quality that must be cultivated over time, and it often arises from the very struggles we wish to avoid. The truth is, we don't build resilience when everything is going well. We build it in the fire of difficulty, in the heat of trials, and through our response to setbacks. Resilience is the inner strength that allows us to not only survive adversity, but to grow from it. It's the ability to bounce back, to rise after a fall, and to keep moving forward despite the obstacles we face. At its core, resilience is about perspective. It's about viewing hardship as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. Instead of allowing ourselves to be consumed by the weight of our circumstances, we learn to rise above them, seeing the bigger picture and trusting that in time we will come out stronger on the other side. This perspective shift is critical to developing resilience. One of the key elements of building resilience is cultivating an unwavering sense of hope. Hope is the fuel that drives us through difficulty. It's the belief that there is something better on the other side of our struggles. When we lose hope, we lose our will to persevere. But when we hold on to hope, even in the darkest moments, we find the strength to keep going. Resilience is not about being invincible, but about maintaining hope and determination despite the setbacks we encounter. Another critical factor in resilience is our ability to learn from failure. No one likes to fail, but it's an inevitable part of life. Failure is often seen as a defeat, something to be ashamed of or avoided at all costs. However, resilient people understand that failure is not the end of the road, it is part of the journey. They use failure as a teacher, learning from their mistakes and using those lessons to adjust their approach the next time. In this way, failure becomes a stepping stone towards success rather than a barrier to it. Resilience also involves emotional strength, the ability to regulate our emotions in the face of stress and difficulty. When life knocks us down, it's easy to become overwhelmed by anger, sadness, or frustration. These emotions are natural, but it is how we manage them that determines whether we will bounce back. Building resilience means learning to process our emotions in a healthy way, to not let them control our actions or dictate our responses. It's about recognizing our emotions, feeling them, but not allowing them to define us or stop us from moving forward. Emotional resilience enables us to maintain clarity, to stay calm under pressure, and to keep our focus on the bigger goal ahead. Another important aspect of resilience is the ability to adapt to changing circumstances. Life is full of unexpected twists and turns, and the ability to adapt to those changes is what allows us to continue progressing. Resilient individuals are not rigid or stuck in their ways. They are flexible and open to new possibilities. When things don't go according to plan, they don't give up or fall into despair. Instead, they adjust, finding new ways to move forward. They understand that setbacks are not the end of the road, but an invitation to innovate, to think differently, and to be resourceful. Lastly, building resilience is deeply connected to a strong sense of purpose. When we know why we're doing something, when we understand the greater purpose behind our actions, we are more motivated to persevere through difficulty. Purpose gives us direction, meaning, and the endurance to continue even when the road gets tough. Without purpose, we may become easily discouraged or distracted by the challenges we face. But with a clear sense of why we're doing what we're doing, we can push through the toughest of times. The process of building resilience may not be quick or easy, but it is incredibly rewarding. Every challenge we face, every obstacle we overcome, adds another layer to our resilience. Over time, we develop a strength that is unshakable, a mindset that refuses to give up, and a determination that propels us toward our goals. Resilience is not about avoiding difficulty. It's about learning to thrive in the face of it, using each challenge as an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the future. In the midst of struggle, it's hard to see anything other than the pain, the difficulty, and the weight of the challenges we're facing. Our minds often become clouded by the intensity of the moment, and we can find ourselves wondering why things are so hard. But what if I told you that in the very struggle that seems to be pulling us down, there are hidden blessings waiting to be uncovered? These blessings may not be obvious at first, and they may not come in the form we expect, but they are always present, shaping us, refining us, and preparing us for something greater. Struggles, no matter how difficult they may seem, are often the very things that move us closer to the fullness of our potential. When everything in life is easy and comfortable, there's no pressing need to grow, to change, or to reach for more. But it is in times of hardship that we are forced to dig deeper, to find new strengths, and to tap into resources within ourselves that we may not have known existed. These are the blessings of personal growth and transformation. Through struggle, we learn things about ourselves, our limits, and our true capabilities. It's in the moments when we feel most stretched that we discover a resilience we didn't know we had. And this resilience, forged in the fires of difficulty, becomes a blessing that equips us to handle future challenges with greater strength and wisdom. The struggle reveals to us areas of our character that need to be refined. It can expose flaws, weaknesses, or limiting beliefs that may have been hidden beneath the surface. Although this revelation can be uncomfortable, it is a powerful blessing. When we face our imperfections head on, we have the opportunity to correct them and grow into better versions of ourselves. These moments of self-awareness, though challenging, are blessings that guide us toward greater maturity and wisdom. The struggle teaches us the value of humility, patience, and perseverance, helping us to develop qualities that will serve us well in every area of our lives. Amen. In addition, struggles often have a way of aligning us more closely with our purpose. It's easy to coast along in life, living day by day without a clear sense of direction or mission. But when we encounter hardship, we are often forced to confront the deeper questions about life and our role in it. The struggle can push us to reflect on our purpose, to ask ourselves what truly matters, and to redefine what we want to achieve. Sometimes it's only when things fall apart that we gain the clarity to see what we were meant to do, who we were meant to be, and what we are capable of achieving. In this way, the struggle becomes a blessing that directs us toward our true calling, helping us to rediscover our passions, our values, and our deepest desires. Another unseen blessing in the struggle is the opportunity for connection. When we are hurting or facing adversity, we often feel isolated, thinking that no one understands what we're going through. However, it is in these times that we often find the most profound connections with others. We begin to realize that everyone has their own struggles, and we are not as alone as we once thought. Our vulnerability during difficult times opens the door for deeper relationships, for empathy, and for shared healing. These bonds that are formed in the midst of hardship are powerful and meaningful, and they often last a lifetime. The struggle teaches us that we don't have to go through pain alone, that there is strength in unity, in shared experience, and in support. Struggles often bring us closer to a deeper faith. In times of difficulty, when everything seems uncertain, we are forced to rely on something greater than ourselves. It's easy to feel self-sufficient when things are going well. But when life challenges us, we find ourselves looking for a source of hope, peace, and strength beyond our own abilities. For many, this is the moment when their faith is tested and strengthened. The struggle forces us to trust more deeply, to surrender control, and to lean on a higher power that guides us through the storm. These moments of spiritual growth, born out of struggle, are some of the most profound blessings we can experience, as they deepen our connection with God and strengthen our foundation for whatever lies ahead. The struggle often serves as a preparation for future blessings that we cannot yet see. There may be opportunities, experiences, or successes that are waiting for us just beyond the horizon. But before we can fully embrace them, we need to be prepared. The struggle, while uncomfortable, is often the very thing that equips us for the greatness that lies ahead. It's like the training ground for an athlete preparing for competition, or the sharpening of a blade before it can cut through the toughest material. Through struggle, we are being shaped, molded, and refined to step into a future that is greater than we can currently imagine. Heaven uses revelation and persuasion to heal the body so that it can put forth its greatest and most beneficial force. The blessings in the struggle are not always immediate or obvious. They require a shift in perspective and a willingness to trust that even in the midst of pain, there is purpose. It's in those moments of difficulty that we have the chance to discover new strengths, deepen our character, and realign ourselves with our purpose. Though the road may be hard, the struggle is never without its unseen blessings. The challenge is to look for them, to recognize them, and to embrace the transformation that comes with each obstacle we face. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful tools we possess in the journey of life. It has the remarkable ability to release us from the grip of pain, anger, and bitterness. And it opens the door to freedom. Freedom from the past. freedom from the hold that others' actions can have on our hearts, and freedom to move forward into the fullness of life. Yet, forgiveness is often misunderstood. It's not simply about letting someone off the hook or excusing their behavior. It's about reclaiming your peace and breaking the chains that bind you to the pain of the past. When we hold on to unforgiveness, we are essentially allowing the actions of others to control our emotional and mental state. The pain of a betrayal, a hurtful word, or a broken trust becomes like an anchor, keeping us tethered to an event that happened long ago. We replay it in our minds, we relive the hurt, and we carry it with us into every new relationship and experience. This weight is not just emotional. It can manifest physically, affecting our health, our sense of well-being, and our ability to move forward. In this sense, unforgiveness becomes a prison, one that we lock ourselves in. Forgiveness, however, is the key that unlocks that prison. When we forgive, we are not condoning the wrong that was done to us. We are choosing to let go of the control it has over us. We are making the decision to no longer allow that hurtful experience to dictate our emotional state or define our future. Forgiveness frees us from the past, and in doing so, it opens up space for healing, for growth, and for the freedom to embrace the present and the future without the burden of old wounds. It's important to recognize that forgiveness is not always easy. It is a process, often requiring time, self-reflection, and a deep understanding of the power it holds. At first, the pain may feel too raw and the offense too severe to even consider letting go of the hurt. But what we must realize is that forgiveness is not for the person who wronged us. It is for us. It is a gift we give ourselves. The one who hurt us may never ask for forgiveness, may never acknowledge the damage they've done, or may never change their behavior. But forgiveness is still a choice we can make. It's the act of freeing ourselves from the grip of resentment, anger, or sadness that others have left behind. When we forgive, we break free from the toxic emotions that imprison us. We take back our power. Unforgiveness leaves us constantly tethered to the past. But forgiveness allows us to live in the present, unburdened by the weight of what has been. It doesn't mean we forget what happened or that we excuse the behavior, but it means we are choosing to no longer allow it to control our thoughts, our actions, or our future. Forgiveness is a declaration that we are no longer going to allow the actions of others to determine our emotional state or our sense of peace. Furthermore, forgiveness brings with it a profound sense of peace and relief. When we release the anger, the hurt, and the resentment that come with unforgiveness, we make room for healing. We allow ourselves to process the emotions that come with pain, but we no longer allow those emotions to define us. It's like a weight being lifted from our shoulders, allowing us to breathe again, to feel lightness where there once was heaviness. This peace is not a superficial calm, but a deep, lasting sense of freedom that comes from knowing we are no longer bound by the past. Freedom also comes when we forgive ourselves. Often we carry guilt, shame, or regret for the mistakes we've made or the ways we've hurt others. We replay our failures in our minds, believing that we are not worthy of peace or happiness because of our past actions. But just as we are called to forgive others, we are also called to forgive ourselves. When we extend forgiveness to ourselves, we release the burden of guilt and step into the freedom that comes with grace. We allow ourselves to heal, to grow, and to move forward without the weight of self-condemnation. Forgiveness also has the power to transform relationships. When we forgive others, we break down the walls that division and conflict create. Forgiveness doesn't mean that we have to continue in toxic or harmful relationships, but it allows us to release any animosity or bitterness that may be affecting our interactions with others. It opens the door to reconciliation, healing, and the possibility of building healthier, more compassionate relationships. In forgiving, we choose to no longer carry the bitterness that distances us from others. And instead, we make space for love, empathy, and understanding. Ultimately, forgiveness is a powerful force that frees us from the emotional and spiritual chains of the past. It is a decision, an act of will, and a step toward emotional and spiritual freedom. When we forgive, we release ourselves from the bondage of unforgiveness and open ourselves to healing, peace, and a future that is no longer defined by past pain. In the end, forgiveness is not just about letting go of the past. It's about stepping into the freedom to live fully in the present, unburdened by the weight of old wounds, and embracing the full potential of the future. It is a freedom that allows us to live authentically, to love fully, and to walk in peace.